Hey, what's happening, family? It's your man, Mark Black. Hey, shout out to everybody who showed up. Again, this was an impromptu broadcast, so I'm not expecting a whole lot. I hope you had a great 4th, by the way, if you celebrate. If you didn't, I still hope you had a great day. Shout out to Miss Denny. Shout out to Mingo, naturally out in the house. Knockerball, Jersey, we see you, fam. Let's see here. Sister August, shalom to you. Double C's in the house. Brother Chris, long time no see, bro. Good afternoon and welcome to this special broadcast. Brother Michael Houston representing in the house. You know the rules, family. If you come in the house, announce yourself. Let us shout you out. And welcome to this impromptu broadcast here on Friday night. I'm not going to talk very long tonight because I want to hear from you. Some great things are happening. And I want to share with you what some of those things are, and also, give us a little bit of a heads up on things moving forward, right? But yeah, Double C, I hear you, fam. Right? You got to get that bread. Today, turns out that something really crazy happened. We have a brother. He's a Princeton professor, right? Professor Eddie Glaude, who was asked to be on the Joy Ann Reid AM Joy program, okay? And as many of you know, Joy Ann Reid and her cabal of gatekeepers, butter biscuit seekers have been maligning ADOS for quite some time. They started off calling us tools of the Russians, right? Saying that we were Russian bots. That no, there's no such thing as an ADOS grassroots movement, pushing for justice and reparations, for the remediation, the restoration, and the repair of black people in the United States, of the American descendants of slavery. No, that doesn't exist. These people are astroturfed. They're manufactured consent, right? Designed to suppress the black vote from its rightful owner, i.e. the Democrats. And that was the narrative. A.M. Reid had Shireen Mitchell on her show, a.k.a. Digital Sister, who claimed that she had evidence of bot activity under the hashtag ADOS, right? Under ADOS. She had this former CIA bootlick Malcolm Nance on her show, again denouncing us as being under the influence of Vladimir Putin and company. She had Mark Thompson on her show, aka Minister, right, who sat here and maligned and shat on the character of ADOS folk. But then here comes our esteemed brother.
Sliding ass bastards.
Right? Those gaslighting ass bastards. But then we had Brother Eddie show up on the scene today. And of course, Joy Ann Reid was indulging in her normal favorite topic, it seems these days, which is finding some way to either sheepdog ADOS folk back into the Democratic fold, or to malign our character, or both. She's comfortable with either one or both at the same time. Ray, the topic is you. The topic is us. Our rise. You see, fam, Professor Glaude proceeds on national TV to say, no, Joy, there is a group of black people out there, the American descendants of slavery, who have valid concerns and issues that they're trying to take up with the Democrats. And they are not bots. He specifically said, we see evidence of them on the ground. We see them appearing in different places. And they have an online presence. And no, they are not bots. And at some point, the Democrats are going to have to address ADOS. Salute to this brother here. Salute to the professor. Salute to you, Professor Eddie. You was the shit, bruh. Thank you for standing in the gap. Thank you for saying the most obvious thing ever is that ADOS has arrived. We may be small, but we are loud and we are ever present. We are there when your politicians are gathering for fish fries. We're there when they're having meetings and hearings on our behalf or against our behalf, so to speak, right? We've been there. And we're going to continue to be there. You had ADOS people or ADOS affiliated people who were right there in front of Mitch McConnell's house the other day. Boots on the ground with signs shouting that it's time for these people to pay the debt. And family, damn it, it is a beautiful thing to see. Many of you have gotten disheartened. Peace, Vernell and Sister Rhoda. Welcome to the broadcast. Brother Harold, by the way, I see you, fam. That's right. 17.1 trillion. We're going to talk about it. That's the number. We didn't say that. That's the number, the most recent number of the value, the true value of what would constitute a comprehensive reparations plan. 17.1 trillion, fam. That's the starting number. I'm sorry, I don't know if he's a doctor, and I don't want to not give him that credit, but I don't know if Professor Glaude is a doctor. I'm assuming he is, but I don't want to say it if I don't know it. But Professor Glaude spoke rightly and boldly. And fam, let me tell you, the look Joy Reid gave that man, if looks could kill, our brother would have been splattered all over that little background in the studio. Absolute contempt and shade. Family, Professor Glaude wasn't even the first. But it was powerful in where it was. Finally, somebody stood up who is one of us and said, no, I don't know what you're talking about, but my eyes can see. And I see ADOS. I see ADOS on the horizon. Shout out to our esteemed brother, wise scholar, and elder. Damn it. I cannot believe I'm missing his name right now. The brother that used to used to have a show with Tavis Smiley, right? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Cornel West. Thank you, brother Cornel West. Because Cornel West, in a recent speech, shouted out ADOS, ADOS. At some point, the brother actually spoke legit, spoke specifically, referencing Sister Yvette, Brother Tone, Dr. Darity. You see, fam, not to steal the brother's thunder, because Professor Black Truth spoke on this much better than I ever could. But the reason why they've been attempting all this deflection, all of this low-key shade, all of this denigration and so on and so forth. By the way, shout out to Agent Smith. I see you. Darker Visions is in the house. Darker Visions, I'm not saying that there's value for us advocates for going on the show. And don't worry, I'll explain a little bit what I mean. Everybody asks Yvette and Tone, why don't you go on AM Joy and give that woman the business? Say give that woman all the shade and smoke. Why don't you go on MSNBC and Fox and all this and that and the third? Because you see, fam, if Yvette and Tone do it, it don't have the same effect. Right? It don't have the same effect. They've been on this advocacy. You feel me? So hearing them on MSNBC, no offense to either Yvette or Tone, none at all. They recognize this. It would not have the same effect because they are considered activists. But Professor Glaude is a teacher, a scholar, very erudite, well-spoken, mannerly, right? He's not considered in any way radical. When he says it, it has power. There is value for our allies and people who are not recognized as part of the activist piece, the activist wing, if you will, of this ADOS transformational moment. It is powerful when those people get a place to stand and they speak. If I get on MSNBC, y'all already know what it is. They're going to go back through my entire history to try to discredit me. Why? Because I'm activist. Because I'm radical. They have to shunt me off. Not to mention the fact that they see me coming. Shout out to Sister Betty, by the way. Welcome to the broadcast. They would see me coming. You feel me? But the professor wasn't one they saw coming. Oh, we're going to invite the professor. I know once we tell him about these shady ADOS people, he going to jump right on the train with us. You know, that brother seemed like he liked butter biscuits. Then the professor showed up and said, excuse me? I don't know who y'all think I am, but I speaks truth to power. He was the one they didn't see coming. Family, we have allies out there. We've got people who are ADOS who are in positions to influence people. And they may not be a part of the activist wing, right? They're not like us going hard in the paint. That's not for everybody. We need people who are under the radar, who are low key, who can slip into these conferences, these meetings, these media outlets and places of power and strategically and at the right moment, go right for the neck. And they can't see them coming. Shout out to Sister Sonia and Road Dog. We see you. Are you feeling me? That's right, Christopher. Our brother was the spook that sat beside the door. He dresses like the Butter Biscuit Brigade. He looks like Boulay until he opened his mouth and shut it all down. We got another one. There was brothers and sisters on Twitter who were attacking Sister Teslin Figaro. Now, again, the beef has been squashed, so I don't want to see no shade. But we have to understand ADOS family when we're winning, right? Sister Teslin is a longtime rider. She's been on various media outlets. She once upon a time worked for the Sanders campaign until she exposed the racism that existed in his planning committees and in the leadership of his campaign, at which point they tried to blackball her. But our sister Tesla will go on the Fox News and be the only black face on a whole panel full of white folk and have them shook because she speak black power to them. She said, no. You don't get to say X, Y, and Z about my people. My people have been disempowered. And until you address that, I don't want to hear nothing else you talking about. She's another one they didn't see coming. So fam, before you think that we are not having an effect, understand that we have people on the team that haven't even announced yet. It's like we've had a shadow draft and got the best players And they haven't told nobody they playing for us yet. Family, if that don't put a smile on your face, I don't know what will. Brother Eddie didn't have to go on AM Joy and do nothing but collect his butter biscuits and go. That was not on the agenda for the brother. That was not on the agenda. Nah, he went and spoke truth. He spoke the true truth. That you have a people out here that are organizing around their interests and around their goals. And in order to get what you want, you are going to have to address them. That's right, Harold. He told him, he said, the natives is getting restless. Y'all know y'all think y'all got this whole beat Trump thing in the bag, but what about ADOS? What about ADOS? I could see that being a problem in 2020 for you guys. You may want to address that. Fam, they are going to have to deal with us. They're going to have to. They are going to have to deal with us. Why? Because we are in the barbershops. We are in the churches. We are in the schools. We are in the neighborhoods. We are in the classrooms. Flesh and blood. Descendants of the American slaves. Children of the impossible. And we're doing the one thing they never expected us to do. We are grounding ourselves in the truth of our existence here in the United States of America, and we are cleaving to our lineage. They didn't see us coming. Just like they didn't see our brother, Professor Eddie Glaude. They didn't see him coming. Just like they didn't see the inestimable Cornel West coming. Just like they didn't see Sister Teslin Figaro coming. You dig? Family, it's only going to snowball from here. Do not be disheartened. Let your hearts be glad. The work, the efforts, the passing out of pamphlets, the going back and forth with people on social media is having an effect. Today, we can celebrate a win. This is not the final win. This is not the full-on W. But damn it, we holding it. We holding the win today. And Joy Ann Reid with her bitter beer face, looking all sour pussed, like she wanted to just throw every ounce of shade she had at this man. All she could do was sit there in silence, which in my humble opinion is what she does best. I want to hear y'all what y'all got to say on it, family. I am beyond happy. Had a great 4th with my family. That's right, Sister Rhoda. She had that bitter beer face on. Oh my God. I mean, just let me see if I can imitate it for you. It's just like the side eye and the shade at the same time. Like, just, it wasn't even nowhere near right. Fam, let me see if I can pull the clip up for you here on Twitter. Give me just a second. I'm gonna try to play this joy for you. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see if I can get this rolling for us here, fam. Give me just a sec. We're going to switch over to the teaching pane, right? Here we go. And I'm going to turn this up and see if I can have y'all hear this. Give me just a moment.
But I think it's really important for us to make some distinctions here.
Can y'all hear that?
Cliff Watts, who's come on MSNBC on a regular basis, has regularly reported that it's not only the Russians. He said what we saw in the election in 2016 was in some ways a kind of weaponization of processes that were evident or is evident throughout the American election system. And what he was saying is not only just simply foreign forces deploying these techniques, but domestic forces deploying these techniques. So not only with $100 million, what can Trump do? Right? Now, what can candidates do? If there aren't any, what can operatives do? Right? So it's not just simply oppo research anymore. Something else can happen in the context of our election system. And in the context of the birtherism and what happened to Senator Harris, there are folks out there, the ADOS movement, the American descendants of slaves, who are making hay in all sorts of places across the country and have a presence on the web. They're not bots. They're not Russian folk. They're actually trying to have an impact on the way in which we talk about race in this country. And unless we understand and be able to differentiate these various forces, we're going to lump them all into the same thing and not understand the nature of the dangers that we face in our election system.
Booyaka. Did y'all hear the man? Did y'all hear that, fam? Did you hear what the brother said? He said, if we lump them all into just one big mass and pretend we don't understand where the hell these people is coming from, we're not going to be prepared for what we have to face with them. But that look, though, oh my goodness. You know what? I would like to know who her cameraman was. I really would. I want to know if her cameraman is ADOS. Because that brother was spot on with that camera. It's like, boop. Oh, and the rest of the panel, see, fam, the rest of the panel goes on after the brother made his statement, right? I've seen a little bit more of the clip. The rest of the panel goes on to try to pull the old, well, ADOS is kind of buying into the old right-wing rhetoric canard, right? But he already stole their thunder. He's like, wait a minute, no, ADOS, he called it. That was beautiful. ATOS, American Descendants of Slavery, is out here. They're making hay. Family is putting boots on the ground. We doing work every day. And we have an online presence, the brother says. And if you try to deny us having the opportunity to change the narrative about what the hell is going on race-wise in America, you are not going to be prepared for what we are about to do to you. You heard it there from the brother. You heard it out of the horse's mouth. The professor himself said, those people are not bots. Joy Ann Reed, oh my Lord, that face though. Looked like sour puss. Looked like she got caught swallowing a gang of lemon heads and sauerkraut. We out here. And the professor said, you cannot deny them. There's a whole host of forces that the Democrats are going to have to face. Not just the goddamn nativist, right-wing, alt-right motherfuckers on Trump's side. Not just them, right? I would argue that the Democrats basically gave the election to Trump when they all to a one during the second debate raised their hands in support of open borders. I remember watching the debate and said, you damned fools. You're not just alienating ADOS at that point. You feel me? Like, we all know that immigration, both legal as well as illegal, disproportionately, deleteriously affects ADOS. So we have our issues with it. And we feel like it's a topic that needs to be addressed, not to benefit them, but to benefit us as citizens. But when they all, every single one of them, raise their damn hands, talking about amnesty and open borders for illegals, I just sat back and said, good goddamn. These fools can't even be trying to win. Because now you're alienating, Joe the plumber in Iowa. Who done watched his business collapse because Jose and Julio and Juan will come in and do plumbing at nowhere near a journeyman or a master's rate? And they're not legal. Keep ignoring ADOS at your peril, is what he said. By the way, let me shout out to my peoples here. Monty's in the house. I see you, sis. Right? Ab-Zero. Yes, I did notice the look on the rest of the panel. The motherfuckers was shook. Ted's in the house. Peace, brother Ted. Kizzy. Peace, sister. Love you. Welcome to the broadcast. Leo in the house. We not no bots. And if you want the White House, the road to the White House comes through ADOS. The road to the White House and any other power that the Democrats want to hold in this country comes through us. And what is ADOS saying? You got a black agenda? Are you in support for reparations for slavery, Jim Crow, mass disenfranchisement, mass incarceration? No? I wonder where you think I'll be come election day. Almost 90% of ADOS voters gave Hillary Clinton their vote in 2016, and she still lost. And you mean to tell me that with ADOS putting boots on the ground, getting in front of our family faces and say, wait a minute, you actually should be getting something in return for your vote. What is the Democrats offering you? What is the Republicans offering you? When ADOS is saying that our vote is hoes and it's time to put them out on the stroll and make them work, what do they think the odds are that they got a chance in hell of getting to the White House without us? No matter how many damn illegals they try to rush and get driver's licenses and get asylum. The professor told him. He told him straight up. You heard it right there, fam. He had the whole damn panel shook. You damn right. The Dems have been the bane of our existence. But because one Democrat president, right, Lyndon Baines Johnson, agreed to actually finally enforce the damn law, we gave them our votes en masse and accepted every damn thing that the Democrats wanted us to accept whole cloth. Whether it was rights for gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual people, so on and so forth, we backed them. Whether it was standing with Standing Rock, we backed them. Justina, I appreciate you. By the way, family, I didn't even announce it, but yes, I'm not going to be asking you on every broadcast to put something on it. I would love it.
Keep putting in that work.
I sure will, Kanuri. You know how I do. I have a Patreon now, family. I don't want you to have to come here and hear me beg you or pester you for support, right? If you want to make sure I can continue to do this work, go ahead and click the link to my Patreon. It's in the description field, but here's a link right here for you. Go ahead and click that link. Again, just as little as $1, but I'm asking you to put 5 on it. If you can put 5 on it, do that, right? If you could put more on it, do that. And I would definitely appreciate it. Let me read some of these comments. And I'm going to open up the phone here shortly. By the way, Sofik is in the house. Shalom, Brother Paul. Welcome to the broadcast. Let's see here. Who else do I got? Kanuri, by the way. Zulu. Yes. Welcome to the broadcast, fam. Double X is in the house. Thank you, Double X. You know I appreciate and love you, fam. Right? Our time of being backburnered while everybody else gets their due is done. ADOS is on some self-care shit right now. In 2020, unless there is a candidate that can answer the question, what is your black agenda? What specifically are you going to do for the American descendants of slavery? Do you support reparations for the crimes, 400 years of crimes that have been committed to my ancestors and to myself? Unless there's a candidate that can answer that question, come election day, ADOS people going to be at home in a hot tub of water with the bath salts in it. You know what I'm saying? With the music on, turn off the lights, light a candle, right? We're going to have the milk in the bath, the petals floating on that joint, you feel me? The candles lit, smelling like sandalwood and chamomile. And we're going to be on some self-care shit come election day. I wonder what's going on in D.C. right now. You feel me, fam? ADOS people, come November 2020. All of those fools who sat here and maligned our character, who accused us of being in the pay of Putin and the Kremlin, right? Called us bots, tried to dismiss us, tried to act like that we wasn't here. They are in for a rude awakening come November 2020. And this is why I told you, fam. This is why I told you, don't even stress it out. Tanzania, that's not the answer. Why suppress your own vote? Doesn't make sense. Who's suppressing the vote? Who's suppressing the vote? We, as ADOS people, Tanzania, are single issue political advocates. Single issue. Okay? No other demo in this country is asked to go to the polls with nothing on the table for them and still vote. No other one except you, except me. Everybody else goes to the voting booth in November and and off-year elections and things like that, voting for something. But not you. Tanzania, what do you think we're doing right now? What do you think us telling these people no agenda, no vote is? It's the only pressure we got. Since Citizens United, money runs the whole damn show. Well, ADOS ain't got no capital. We ain't got no money. Not collectively. So the only pressure that we have is the same pressure that we've always had when we fought for change in this country. And that is our black asses and our big mouths. We got body power. I'm not telling you to not vote your local votes. Vote down ballot. I know I intend to. I live in Washington State. It's one of the whitest states in the area. I got to make sure I vote down ballot. But when it comes to selecting the chief executive in the United States or whoever's going to represent you in the National Congress, if they're not talking about giving you something to vote for, then they don't deserve your damned vote. It's as simple as that. I'm not voting for a damn one of them. Tanzania, the floor is yours. I ain't going to talk to you via chat. 425-296-1980. No shade, no disrespect. I'm not going to clown you. I'm not going to act stupid, right? Right now, I'm hyphy, okay? Because I'm happy about what the professor said today and some of the other things that have been going on, right? So don't mistake my passion for disrespect. You disagree with me, call in. Let's have us a discussion. Let's talk about which position makes more sense. Because if you can convince me, then we all good. But the numbers say that we continually vote for Democrats in the high 80s, low 90s, every stinking election. Yet we never have anything that's put on the table for us to vote for, sister. Why the hell is it ADOS people always got to be the ones to vote against something? We're supposed to be the ones that are the Democratic mules to vote Trump out. Why? Trump is no damn different than the other 44 presidents that came before him. That's real talk. That is real talk, fam. Trump is literally no damn different. None. So he's passed a few things here and clipped off a few things there. ADOS have been getting the shitty end of the stick since 1619. And there has not been a single president that has came in that has actively sought to ameliorate that. We had one who took a damn mini ball to the back of the head in 1865. We had one that was willing to at least talk to us about it. But John Wilkes Booth made sure to end that conversation. And all the rest of them. Oh yeah, we got a call coming in. Let's do this. Told you I want to hear from y'all. 323. Make sure, by the way, if you have me on in the background, turn me down or turn me off. I can hear you, but we don't want to make the call quality bad for the fam. Caller from 323, man, Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Say, Mark, I hear you, man. I understand where the sister coming from. She's fallen into that CBC. We got to save the world, and that's not what it's about. But and that's not what it's about. But what I want, did you see that post from Candace Owens?
Oh, I did, fam. I was gonna mention that too. Oh, we
that's what I
got a whole little bit to talk about tonight, because Candace Owens played herself too. With her
man.
Oh man, fam.
Man, you gotta go to her post and look at the immigrants posting. Now, it's pretty crazy. Man, it's pretty crazy.
Candace Owens, fam, brother, thank you for. Did you have something that you wanted to say? Because I'll go ahead and talk about the post that Candace laid down. And I'm gonna see if I can even show the tweet.
No, but I was talking about the sister. I know how she feels. She's been caping for everybody else. It seemed odd for you to actually advocate for yourself.
Trust me, I have nothing but love for my family that are still under the illusion, because that's essentially what it is, that somehow or another our voting, even in the absence of demanding something for our vote, is going to be in some way efficacious, right? That's why I want to let the sister know there's no shade, it's nothing but love, but we need to have a discussion, because in point of fact, the ultimate pressure we have available is the threat of not showing up. By taking our imprimatur away, which is what our vote is, right?
Now, I actually got a different idea about that.
Go ahead, fam.
Say, like, for instance, we meeting up. I'm ADOS out of Los Angeles. We're meeting up tomorrow. And trust me, it's a ton of us now. We're growing by leaps and bounds. We should be putting some pictures up. But the sheer fact that we organizing will send terror through them. Mm-hmm. Because the fact that I'm a baby boomer, and the idea that this ain't business as usual, man, do you know, only thing he had to do was just show up and shake a few hands, or show up at the damn church, or just be seen at a funeral of somebody who got killed by a gang member, straight bullet.
Or don't forget about the ubiquitous hot sauce and or most popular dance of the day shtick. That's a classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now that stuff ain't working no more.
And you get your Butter Biscuit MC to introduce you from the black church. But now, the pastors have fell out of favor, so you can't use that no more.
Wait a minute, and we got pastors like Bishop Talbert Swan. That brother be going hard in the paint on this nation. Hard in the paint. You know what? I would love. I don't follow the brother on Twitter. I don't even know if he's on Twitter. But I would love to see what Obama's former pastor has to say about all this, because this is his time. This is his time to come out and show his natural black ass. Because we would ride with that brother, Pastor Wright. We would ride with that brother till the wheels fell off, because he was right.
Right. But
he was right.
Man, don't even start with it. Do you know they named the damn street after Obama in L.A.?
What else?
They named a little old short street. I have to go through damn there every day after Obama.
I'm sorry, fam.
But we finna do a push out here in Los Angeles to all the churches. As a matter of fact, I'm signed on. I'm part of a group that, I love it. This is my Kool-Aid.
That's right.
But I tell the ADOS family, man, go and get you some collard greens and cornbread.
Facts.
And enjoy your day.
Enjoy your day.
All right, my brother.
I love you, brother.
Peace.
Hey, thank you for the heads up. And I'm going to make sure to announce tomorrow for Sucker Free Saturday, the gathering that y'all got going on down there in L.A. and encourage people. Because I'm affiliated also with Brother Chris. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, Brother Chris from Sacramento. Sacktown is doing big things on the ADOS.
Actually, I talked to him.
Yes.
We do a phone conference, and
Yes.
I talked to him.
Yes, so I'm so pleased to see the fam down there organizing in LA, especially with all the homeless ADOS people we got down there in LA County, in San Fran, in Sacramento.
Let me say this. I work with the homeless. Let me say this. Now, let me explain something to you. Now, put this in the context of open borders. As if all these people who come here got somewhere to go. How in the hell, do you know they're talking about getting rid of the mayor because homelessness in California is out of control. But you're talking about open borders.
Facts.
Now, California is a democratic state. They've had the process of open borders. Watch California get overran. Watch the state get overran by homeless people. Now, there's a large ADOS. We've been been priced out of the market. But there also, here's the issue. You can damn near go get anything done for next to nothing, from getting painting done, getting your carpet clean. They pretty much, I'm a union rep on my job. They pretty much drove down the market. Now, I work for the government. The only reason I'm able to continue to get raises is I work for a government, and pretty much the union is pretty strong. But and ADOS gonna have to come after the union too, because trust me, my brother, it's hard to find ADOS member in the
trades.
In the trades, they are not. I'm telling you, we had a meeting and I was speaking up. I was like, how are you going to get here and ask? Because they always call in and ask us to come out, volunteer to do this for the Democrats. And I told them, I'm a part of ADOS. I'm planning on gutting the Democrats, and the union is next.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, that's right, fam. Fam, I didn't catch your name. What's your name, fam?
Vernell.
Vernell. Thank you, Vernell. You know what, brother? I'm gonna drop you off, right? Because I want to take some more calls.
That's fine.
This is y'all's day to talk. But I'm gonna drop you off.
I want to hear somebody else too.
But I'm gonna address something that you probably hadn't even heard of, because believe it or not, fam, what's happening in California is actually part of a game plan. And I'm gonna share that with the family. So I want you to keep watching. Stick with me.
Okay.
I'm about to drop something on you that you need to know.
Okay. All right.
I love you, fam. Thank you for the info, and thank you for the call. Fam, Brother Vernell was breaking it down about the removal of ADOS people specifically, but generally tradespeople, American tradespeople, with the advent and the rise of these illegals and other immigrants coming into California, right? These are mostly Hispanic folk. I'm going to share with you something, though, that you probably were not aware of. The Hispanic people in this country that have had some degree of economic and political power, right, that were previously a part of a movement that was Hispanic driven, right, Hispanic led, called the Chicano movement. The Chicano movement actually put forth plans back in the 70s for what they call in Spanish the Reconquista. It means the reconquering, right? The Reconquista is a plan to basically move Hispanic people of all stripes, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, so on and so forth, into California, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, and simply take back the land that was originally taken by the United States from the Mexican government. This is documented, fam. Do not take my word for it. Do not take my word for it. The Reconquista is an invasion. It's an invasion plan. This thing has actually been in play now for the last 40 years. And we are finally seeing the fruits of Reconquista playing out in places like California, in places like Arizona. The only reason why we're not seeing it that much, here, I'll type it for you here. Give me just a second. Reconquista. Right? The reason why we haven't quite seen it yet in Arizona is because whites still primarily dominate in Arizona. So what they're going to do in Arizona is they're going to move Hispanic people in primarily first as a servant class, right? They're going to be down there doing landscaping. They're going to start branching into the trades, just like they did in Cali. Once upon a time, they was farm workers, migrant workers. They would travel from farms to farms to farms through the South, as well as up north, like in Oregon, picking crops there, right? Up in Washington, picking apples, picking crops there, and so on and so forth, right? They started off in this country primarily as migrants. Then the first thing that we noticed that was strange was that they started pushing for migrants to get basically like licenses to come in and pick crops. Because believe it or not, fam, Georgia tried to get rid of these people. They said, look, we got too many of them coming in. And they started trying to legislate against these migrant farm workers coming in. Well, guess what they found out? These migrant farm workers weren't just being hired by the farmers. They were being hired by meat processors, by painters, by roofers. And because they were running them out of the state, the economy took a shit. The Reconquista, fam, we are seeing it happening right now. But if you speak out against that, you're a bigot. You're a right-wing nativist white supremacist, even if you're ADOS. Because who do you think was primarily doing those jobs, fam, before these Latino bastards showed up? That's right. It was your family out there picking greens, picking watermelons, picking cotton. But it was a way for us to at least have some means to take care of our families. And a lot of our families out there, once the sharecropping thing started kind of going to the wayside, we was actually able to start coming up. But with the advent of allowing the migrant workers to come in and take all those jobs from ADOS people, we lost millions of ADOS farmers. We had brothers and sisters who could no longer even support themselves in the farming game. Then we watched as the big farming conglomerates, Cargill and all the rest of them, buy up land from our black farmers. Farming in this country nowadays, fam, y'all got like this weird idea what farming is. It ain't no family on an actual farm, or with a few cows and, big fields. No, most of these farms are owned by corporate conglomerates with, of course, pesticides delivered courtesy of Monsanto. Farming is just as big corporate business in this country as any other corporate business entity you want to look at. This thing has been going on now for 40 years. The Chicano movement, look them up. They pretended, of course, to be allies of ours, right? Because the Chicanos used to stand there, the Angels, the Brown Berets and all of that used to stand up with the Black Panthers. And because the Black Panthers thought we needed more allies in our struggle, we accepted these folk. But the Chicanos had their own thing, another thing coming, and their interests had complete antipathy to ours. We just didn't see it. Look it up, fam. Mark Black ain't gotta lie to you. The Reconquista. This has been planned forever. And now it's to the point where the whites can't dislodge them, not without the economy in these respective states taking a hit. But we want to shit on Trump because he wants to do something about it. Now, I'm not saying I support Trump. I'm no fan of Donald Trump. But what do I tell you, family? That where our alliances, where our interests align, we can work with everybody. And we need to be. And right now, in this particular matter, our president seems to have our back. You're damn right, Easy. La Raza, right? These different Chicano, Latino groups merged into the political structure like some of the Panthers did. Some of the ones who survived and so on and so forth started going into public office like Bobby Rush and all the rest of them. Of course, without the same fire that they had when they was revolutionaries. But these Chicano activists started gaining political power. And you think that they forgot about the Reconquista when they started gaining political office, started moving up the food chain? Hell no. Hell no. But here's something else to know, fam. That was a little gimme. That was something for you to chew on this weekend, right? Make sure you hit the links, family. Support my work, right? No begging, no shade. Give what you can. The Patreon's available. So if you just want to do a one-time, set it and forget it and contribute every month, that's definitely appreciated. I would encourage you to do that, right? But fam, to touch on what the brother was talking about previously, Candace Owens drops a tweet. And let me see if I can find it for you. Give me just a second here, because I think I might be following that trashy. Let me cool my motor, because you know me. I will go ham. Right? Let me see. Candace Owens. Yeah. The real Candace Owens was tripping. Fam, let's go back to the learning screen, shall we? Here's the tweet from this. I don't even know what to describe this motherfucker as. Pardon my language. Y'all know I've been trying not to curse, but this fool here said, "Today I am studying why Caribbean," by the way, Candace, just a side note from an English speaker who loves the language and a grammar Nazi. Learn to spell Caribbean before you start studying it. I'm just saying. Today, I'm studying why Caribbean immigrants far surpass Black Americans in terms of economic success. If America awards success based on skin color, this wouldn't be possible. All researchers conclude that they are simply more driven. I am of St. Thomas descent. Very proud. That's Miss Denny. You know her. She always be back here kikiing. She just came through the door. You know how she do. I gave up, fam, trying to stop Miss Denny from getting it in.
Stop hating.
Yeah, you heard her.
Stop hating.
Miss Denny said, "Hey, fam." Right, Easy. Miss Denny can't be stopped. You know how she is. Yeah, Candace Owens is a whole joke, fam. A whole joke. But as ADOS people, regardless of how we feel about this stanky ass bitch, let's actually analyze, right? Because remember, we're driven by the data. So let's actually unpack this ridiculous tweet from this dim bulb known as Candace Owens. First of all, I want to shout her out for finally telling the truth. See, right? Because you right, Miss Denny is my rock, fam. She always got my back. Y'all know this. I'm just messing with the sister because she can kiki all the hell she want, right? But Candace Owens played herself on this one. See, she rode our coattails because Republicans conservatives, they particularly don't care what a black face come from, right? Because they know they got a race problem, right? The Republicans that actually give a damn know they got a race problem. They know the ADOS be like, right? So whenever they get a black face, they don't do a lot of due diligence, you dig? They just be like, okay, it's a nigger face, right? She's going to do her thing. Have at it, chick. Have at it, right? So they didn't really do a lot of due diligence. They were just accepting that Candace Owens is a black face. And because of the concerted effort to flatten blackness that has been going on with all of this people of color shit, she's been able to ride our lineage for her individual benefit. That's number one. But she showed her slip. Like Leo said, she showed her slip. Her slip is showing, right? Because she told, I'm from St. Thomas and proud. So let me get this straight. She's wanting to do a study about why this people of Caribbean descent come to America and succeed, respective to ADOS, to ATOS. But she's not ADOS. And we're supposed to be able to trust that she speaks authoritatively about the ATOS experience. Who the hell does she think she fooling? Maybe some white folks who never actually get around black folk in this country might buy that. But she done lost. This whole Brexit thing is done. When ADOS is through reminding our people that this Caribbean is trying to get them to vote against their own interests, to waste their vote on a party that has shown no indication as of yet of even engaging with our interests, let alone actually advocating for our interests. You dig? How many people you think gonna ride with her on this Brexit thing? Well, family, actually, we all know who's gonna ride with Candace on this Brexit thing. We sure do. I'm gonna see if I can find her original tweet. Here we go. Here's the original tweet. Let's go back to the teaching screen, family. Here's the original tweet. Now, of course, you see them American flags there? That's your ADOS folk representing on Twitter. So if you ain't following the Black Outcast on Twitter, you're fucking failing. That's where you find your man on Twitter, you dig? Black Outcast. Anyway, I digress. So you see ADOS representing, right? We got Brother Ezekiel saying, hey, do you care to address this, in the name of solidarity and all, right? Throwing a little shade as is our want. Right? We got the sister Ashley here saying, so when we say there's a difference between other blacks and ADOS, we're villainized and called xenophobic. This is why we make the distinction. Of course, we got Tone representing. Shout out to my brother Tone, right? Here it is. Real Candace Owens, Caribbean berating ADOS. Hence why she should have no voice on ADOS. There is cost of being ADOS and born of U.S. chattel slavery. And he references the Miami Color of Wealth report. By the way, family, in the description field of this video, there is a link to the Miami Color of Wealth report. Absolutely free. You can download it and read it for yourself. We ground ourselves in the data in this piece. But when we go through and look at the people who co-sign what she talking about, they're either white folks like Mike M here. Black Americans need to understand they're being used by the Democrat Party, right? Let's see, because wow, the ratio Oh, here's Samuel Singh. Singh. Now, tell me something, fam. Singh. The last time I checked, that's a Sikh name. No shade toward the Sikhs, right? I got mad love for Sikhs. They're dope folk, all right? But Samuel Singh is claiming to be a Caribbean person. Could Samuel be an Indian immigrant to the Caribbean? I'm originally a Caribbean person, and since my family and I came here, my sister and I have both studied hard and been working from day one. It's a matter of using the opportunities in front of you. Caribbean immigrant. Here's another one. Miggs. I'm a Caribbean immigrant, and I know why. We are conservative by nature. Did you hear that, fam? Conservative by nature, he said. Interesting. Isn't there another group of Americans who are also conservative by nature, perhaps? Could be white folks? You feel me? Right? We don't believe we are victims and work hard to achieve in life. Oh, and shit, he's a Dominican. Well, that explains fucking everything. Sorry, fam, but I have a deep-seated ire for Dominicans. I know black, papi. I know black. No. I know black. Damn them motherfuckers. I'm sorry. Yeah, I fucking can't. I'm sorry, fam. I fucking can't. Right? Shout out to Atheist Black Chick, by the way, another ADOS partisan on Twitter, right? You feel me? Oh, and here's another one. As if ADOS people in this country aren't overwhelmingly Christian. Joseph Lynch here, strangely enough, a white man, right, says a strong Christian heritage is a common feature amongst the people of those islands. Cassius, what's up? Wheezy, I see you, fam. A strong Christian heritage is a common feature amongst the people in those islands. Sister Kim, I love you, sister. Welcome to the broadcast. We celebrating tonight. We celebrating tonight. I know black, puppy. No. I know black. I Dominican. I know black. The fuck out of here. DR down there killing black tourists, and they got the nerve to be talking about what we need to be doing. What you need to do is keep your hands to yourself. Don't let me. Okay, I'm gonna be cool. I can't be advocating no crazy stuff, but y'all know where I'm at, right? Oh, here's Pomps. Let's see if we can. Oh, Pomps looks like a white man. It's the legally landed immigrant work ethic. The people who are law-abiding and grateful to be given a chance at the American dream. So far, what we've seen, fam, in just a few snaps, a few snippets of tweets that we've been checking out, the only people riding with her is our esteemed fellow white citizens and Caribbeans. By the way, Miss Denny, Kim just shouted you out. You might as well just go ahead and say hi because everybody can hear you. Do you, sis? Do you? Here she come, Kim. She said hi.
Hey, peoples.
That's right, Kim. They did not see us coming. Because we not only throw shade, fam, because nobody throws shade better than we do. But we also do the analysis, right? We also do the work. Born Again Conservative says, I'm from Jamaica. We lack many basic opportunities. So when we get a chance to live and come into America where opportunity abounds, we take advantage of that. Also, most of us take care of families back home. This country is the greatest nation in the world, blessed to be here. Caribbeans. We don't care about white supremacy. No. That's not even a problem for us. We're good. Plenty of opportunities under white supremacy. We're straight. Jam on. Right? But ADOS, of course, is representing. Shout out to all my ADOS fam on Twitter. See, look. Ash, Song of the World Open, said, what's the angle for this tweet? Anti-reparations? Candace, no community can thrive without capital. That's why your people came here. You needed a pool of capital to build off of. You didn't have it in the Caribbean. ADOS are the hardest workers in the U.S., but we get shut out. Facts. Matter of fact, let me hit that with some love. Facts. Facts. But you see, family, your man Mark Black has been known to sometimes be possessed with the spirit of petty. I have at times been rode by the spirit of petty. I am ashamed to say that at times I've been known to just talk, and not in a good way. So, fam, I actually posted underneath this thread. I'm going to see if I can find my tweet. But if not, I can go on my timeline here and get it. Let me go here to my...
Butter, cocoa, bread, breakfast ain't shit. I'm just saying.
Right? By the way, fam, if you get on Twitter and you start talking that good, that true, expect a retweet from your man Mark Black. I support my family all day, no doubt. Right? Let me see if I can find that. Damn, I've been tweeting like a mug today. Hey, don't hate me. Right? Right? Leo asked Botham Jean. Right? I think he was from St. Thomas about them opportunities. Yeah. You know, you got opportunities here as Caribbeans. But like white folks say, you play stupid games. Sometimes you win stupid prizes. So don't come expecting us to be marching out there for you when you win your stupid prizes. Right? Let me see where the hell that tweet is. Oh, by the way, I wish D's Nuts was running again this year. I actually was going to vote for D's Nuts. Oh, and another thing, fam. All our family in the earthquake area, all of our people down there in the area of the earthquake, we see you. If you need help, please let us know. Go on Twitter. There's Facebook, ADOS groups. I know some of y'all were right in the epicenter and may need some financial assistance or help. Let your people know. Man, we need to be prepared to mobilize to help some of our people when they go through trials like earthquakes and natural disasters and things like that. Because Lord knows we can't count on FEMA. But at any rate, fam, damn that tweet. What I told her was this. I said, Candace, you know, because we on a first name basis at this point. I said, Candace, let me ask you a question. If you Caribbean folk were just born to win, why the hell are y'all country shitholes? If y'all were just born with winning in your blood, y'all just stay winning. Why isn't St. Thomas a beacon of prosperity? I told her, I said, your family came here because me and my ancestors built the only place where you might have a chance to stand and have a place in the sun, you ungrateful bitch. Like I said, fam, I have been known to get a little petty at times.
Oh, was that your disclaimer before the petty? Is that what that was?
Just a little just a little petty. Blackfish, great question. Y'all country so damn great. Y'all stay winning. Why the fuck you over here? I mean, it's a logical question, is it not? You were born winners, right? Jamaica is a predominantly black nation. Hasn't been ruled by white folks in forever now, it seemed like. According to Miss Candace Owens, Jamaica should be a paragon of economic paradise. We should be able to go down there and see anything we want to see and see them doing it big. Remember all those stereotypes we saw back in the 90s about Jamaicans? Oh, you can't marry my daughter. You only have one job. I'll take a call. Let's do it. Caller from 612. It's your man, Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
My name is Wesley. I just want to say that I'm an African, and if ADOS wins, every black person in the world wins.
Facts, Wesley. Facts. Go ahead. Speak on it, fam.
My thinking is that if ADOS can win and get their reparations, like most people think niggas are just going to spend their shit on random stuff. But if they will probably invest in their housing, infrastructure, and they'll probably branch out into something else. And if they start doing that, every single person in the black world will realize, hey, ADOS is doing this, let's copy them.
Facts.
Because black people are natural copiers. Black people just copy what other black people do. That is our culture.
That's a thank you. Call and response. Wesley, call and response. That's our culture. Do you know, Wesley, being an African brother, do you know that on the plantation, our ancestors developed musical systems that played off that natural call and response? One would start and we would imitate. Then they would drop the next verse and we would imitate. We were able to maintain that. That's in our blood. That's in our DNA, right? This natural imitation.
Yes, once one black culture gets that money and starts to develop, every single culture across the globe will start to reflect that culture.
Wesley,
that's what we need. We need ADOS to continue and to develop and grow and prosper.
Wesley, let me ask you a question, fam. Now, you seem like a pretty level-headed, studious brother. Are you first generation, second generation? I'm not, trust me, no disrespect. I'm just inquiring and having a conversation with my fam here. You first or second generation immigrant here?
I'm first generation.
First generation,
but
okay. Gotcha.
First generation, but I've gone through school and I've in my own time, I've studied the history of America and what it's done to black people. And I can understand when I see a poor black person on the street, I know why he's on the street.
Yes.
I just don't look at and see a street nigga. I understand why he's on the street. The system that oppresses him, I understand why.
Now, Wesley, let me ask you, fam. You said that you started studying the history of our travails, right? Our going through the crucible here in the United States, right? Yes. When you studied that history, right? What was the one thing, if you could pick one thing that stood out, like that little gem or that jewel that stuck out for you? What's that one thing, Wesley, that you learned about the American descendants of slavery that you hold close right now?
There's a lot of things, but the main thing that, like, I remember when I was sitting at work and I saw, when I was working in corporate America, and I was just sitting there and these other white people were talking about, I have a cabin in the north, I have a cabin in the south. And I'm like, what about black people? And then I realized even after slavery, white people were getting land from the west. They were basically getting affirmative action on stuff that black people should have getting. They were not even competing on the same level. Like, black people were not even on the same level to compete with those white people. They were just competing over scraps. It's like a KFC dinner, and all of a sudden the waiter just throws all the stuff to the garbage, and black people are just picking stuff to the garbage, and that's what white people call competing.
Yeah.
Black people just can't compete. Black people in America can't compete with white people.
Wesley.
Because the system is not set up for them.
Wesley, you do realize that competition is the greatest damn lie this country is ever told.
Amen,
right?
Amen,
Socialism
amen.
has been the order of the day in America since before its founding. here's the thing. Capitalism is this. Capitalism is socializing the gains, or I'm sorry, is privatizing the gains and socializing the losses. Now, Wesley, back in the day, when America was just really coming into the fore, I don't know in your studies of history if you came across this, but I want to ask you, if you haven't, to take a look at Bacon's Rebellion, right?
Oh, yes, I know exactly where you're going, my friend.
Yes.
I've studied this shit too.
Bacon's Rebellion, fam, was what was going to happen to America if white folks and black folks who weren't the 1% got together. Because Bacon's Rebellion was on some real shit. They saw pretty quickly what the end game of capitalism looks like. And they wasn't with it. Because before the ironclad black code, slave code was locked into place, a black person, even enslaved, could find a way out. And so some of us were starting to get a come up of sorts, right? We were what you would call Yalemen, right? You know, basically gentlemen farmers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And White Trash, Eisenberg Newberg talks about how all the freedmen were making more gains than the poor whites in the South, and that was causing a problem between the northern elites because they were looking at like, wait a minute, the freed blacks were actually developing at a higher rate than all these other white people. What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. And so what happened is Bacon's Rebellion organized poor whites and free blacks and some natives and was about to kick the ass off of Virginia. And so they made some compromises. They said, okay. We're going to give you white folks some of the taste. This was basically the start of the American racial compact, that even if you were the lowest dirt farming, three-tooth having, cousin fucking shit kicker in the hills of Appalachia, you could lay your head down at night and know at least you're not a nigger. This was the start of it.
It was a comfort blanket for them.
Exactly. Matter of fact, I would argue that racism is just reflexive for many whites in this country at this particular point. Rhoda, peace, sister. Have a great weekend and join me tomorrow for Sucker Free Saturday. Wesley, let me ask you one last question, fam, because I really do appreciate your call and your allyship, right, fam? If you were wondering what an ally looks and sounds like, we got a brother on the phone that's an ally. But before I let you go, let me ask you one last question. Would you agree with me that white supremacy is a global thing? That it exists pretty much everywhere on the globe?
Is that even a question?
No, I feel you.
Me.
I feel it's
African,
brother.
Let me respond as an African. Let me just expand on the African. If you were a black person in the United States and you, for example, let's just say you end up in a port, you were in an airport in Nairobi,
right?
And there was a white man standing right next to you, and the teller is a black woman or a black person or a black man. He's going to treat that white person better than you.
Fact.
There is skin bleaching in South Korea. There is skin bleaching in Japan. There is skin bleaching in China. There is skin bleaching in Nigeria. There is skin bleaching all over Africa. They want to be more lighter. That is a focus on white supremacy. It is everywhere. It is a global problem.
Yes, it is. So you and I are in agreement on that, right? Now, I asked that question, but that's not the question. Here's the question. Would you agree with me that America is the linchpin of global white supremacy, the one thing that holds it all together everywhere?
Oh, they would have never, absolutely. They would have never gotten to this point without it. Okay. Without slavery, without white supremacy, they would have never. Like, most people forget that, if I can add here, is that
go ahead, fam.
Most people forget that, A country that rises organically is more well put together. For example, Japan, South Korea, and China. The United States, they got all the industrialization from Britain.
Yeah.
But they also got the same racism. So it's not an organic society. The United States is not an organic society. It's got all fragments everywhere. You got racism. You've got different types of ethnocentrism. It's a fucked. It's fucked.
Now, Wesley, the reason why I asked you that question is because I want to leave you, my dear allied brother, with this. If America is the linchpin of global white supremacy, and ADOS is pushing to hold America to account and make America pay for the ill-gotten and unjust gains it derived from the enslavement of our people, to essentially break white supremacy here in the United States, why in the hell would any black person anywhere be against that? I want to leave you with that, fam.
It makes no sense.
I
Because
hear you.
if black people win in the United States, even Dr. Amos Wilson, every black person should at least listen to a few lectures by Dr. Amos Wilson. He said the key to prosperity for the African people lies within the American culture, the American government system, because the American government system is what controls the economic capacity of the world and the cultural capacity of the world. So if ADOS is trying to fight within the United States system the culture of white supremacy, that is a win not only for black people, for Asian people, for Hispanic people. That is a win for the entire human race.
Thank you. Fam, I can't say it no better than that. Thank you. I appreciate you. Wesley.
I hope ADOS better win, bro. Like, I'm hoping for you guys.
Oh, don't even trip, fam. We're gonna keep pushing. But I'm gonna let you go and take this next call, fam. Join us. Join the Angry Black Sheep. You are welcome. Please stick around. And you are always welcome to call in, fam.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, caller from 903. Hey, before I even go in, fam, Brother Wesley, right? But y'all think we struggling out here. That ADOS can't win this thing. Please. Caller from 903. It's your man, Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's on your mind?
Texas. What's up, black man?
What's up?
Hey, 903.
903. That's right. I saw the 903. I was like, oh, that's black man. I'm tripping. What's good, fam?
Hey, I heard you on Yvette the other day, so that was kind of cool.
Thanks, man.
I think that I was watching. Well, let me tell you this first.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching CNN last night, right, with that Zarif Fakari.
Right.
Yeah, and it was weird to me because they were talking about the hate that you give. There was something about hate and white supremacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so on and so forth. But towards the end of it, they were talking about how they had locked up black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what they called the camps when they locked up black people was detention centers.
Yes.
But AOC gets to call them concentration camps.
You feel me?
And that's the play that they give us. That's how. And if you guys go back and ever watch that, I recorded last night on my phone to send to my cousin. But these are the kind of games that they play.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the immigrants or the brown people or the people of color, they are in concentration camps. But when it's black folks or ADOS, we are in detention centers.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, black man, do me a favor. I know you're going to send that to your cousin, right? If you ain't on my Discord, go ahead and join my Discord and post that in the chat. That way we have a record of it in the chat so that we can share it. I can share it with people. I can show it. People on the Discord can see it and so on and so forth. If you would, fam, I'd appreciate it.
I don't know, Mark, I'll be honest with you. I'm not Discord. I don't know what to do. I'm not a technology guy. I'm 49. I'm not a technology guy. I'm really not.
It's all good, fam. But yeah,
but I can send it. Let me. I put send you your email. How about that?
Yeah, you got my email, right? blackoutcastmedia@gmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send it to your email. I'll send you your email. I'll put it in capitals. CNN. I'll put it in capitals. CNN.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And the second part, that was a very poignant point, and this is what I want to sit there and tell people. When you sit there and say, is the whites run the world, kind of a thing, is it just a natural thing? This is always the funny thing that hit me about Hitler, right? Mm-hmm. Hitler was a guy with black eyes, black hair, and a black mustache, right? But what the one point that he always pressed, blue eyes and blue hair. I mean, yeah, blue eye and blonde hair.
Yep. They were the Aryan archetype.
Exactly, but they follow him like I just why would he be your front man? That's what I'm saying. Why would Candace Owens be our front man? Why would an immigrant be our front man? I just don't understand. How will we let that person in there? And I start and tell people all the time, I don't understand how you go to a black chat room and you use yellow hands. I don't get it. You're not on point. On Yvette's channel, Macaulay Johnson, he does it. I just don't understand how you ask black folks for money or ADOS for money and you still use yellow hands. Are you down or are you not down? It's not a hard ask, in other words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you, fam. I feel you. Here's the thing, right?
Very, very simple and very, very little for you to change over to that. There's no disrespect to Yvette. There's no disrespect to Tone or nobody. But I just want to sit there and say, are you an ally or not? Are you down or not? Show me you're down.
Black man. But you remember, fam, we talked about this. You remember the broadcast where I talked about acculturation and inculturation, right? Our acculturation, every black person, regardless of ADOS, diaspora, homeland, whatever, all of our acculturation since the advent of white supremacy is designed to make mentally, not necessarily physically, but mentally, to make all of us into white supremacists. You feel me? Right? So the thing is that at the end of the day, right? And I talked about this on my religion broadcast back on Hump Day, this last Hump Day, that we need to have the renewing of our minds, right? This is why ADOS is so powerful, because ADOS is telling us that by grounding ourselves in the data, in the information, right? We have no choice but to cleanse our minds of these flawed ideas, bad acculturation, and so on and so forth. And the more you get grounded in the reality, the truth of ADOS experience in America, the more that stuff just starts to go by the wayside. You feel me? Don't lose heart, fam, because this is a process that is going to be ongoing. I mean, think about this.
I haven't lost heart at all.
Yeah, it's taken 400 plus years for us here in America to adopt this acculturation and perpetuate it from generation to generation.
100%.
Even once they pay this debt, like Yvette said, we need lineage therapy. There's a lot of
there you go. I've always said that. You gotta go through generations.
We're gonna have to go through multi-generational therapy just to cleanse the epigenetic stain of this mess off of us.
But that's what I'm saying. But look at this, Mark. So where we were stripped of our culture, our language, and everything else, everybody else gets to come in and speaking and doing whatever they want to fucking do. Whatever they want to do. And when you sit there, okay, so I'm a part of a school board, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a Booster Club member, right? Understand this right here. When you let somebody come into your school who is non-English speaking, right, from K through 12, right? Mm-hmm. K through 12, they get to have English training from K through 12, right? That costs a bunch of money, right?
Yeah.
When the average high school student gets it, it's in the 9th grade. How in the world can you be fluent in Spanish and speak it when you just learned it in the 9th grade? You will be nowhere close. Because I was trying to get this black girl a job up there at admin, right? Mm-hmm. And the only reason she didn't get that job is why?
Because she didn't speak Spanish. Ain't that a bitch?
Ain't that? That's. And she went to school there. She's a part of the community. Her kids go to school there. The whole nine.
Hey, but fam, don't feel bad. It seems like now, if you're a Democrat, in order to become president, you got to speak Spanish. We had Corny Booker up there speaking Spanish.
Yeah,
we
like,
had
what
Robert O'Rourke, because his name's not Beto. His name is Robert. Right, he's a white dude. Let's not forget this. We had Robert O'Rourke up there speaking Spanish and so on and so forth. So don't feel bad, because it seemed like to become president, you got to be able to speak Spanish now.
Mark, I'm sitting there telling you, I'm in Texas. They believe the Mexicans are believing that. So they're just believing because he looks okay. So he's white, right? So they're believing that he's a white Mexican.
Yeah.
I'm saying, telling dude, no, he's not. He's lying.
He's a white man.
He's an Irish guy or whatever. He's not. He's going to Pedro. No, it's not the same. But they believe it's really the same.
But you know what,
so
though?
so
See, but here's the thing I want you to understand, though, black man. It doesn't matter. And you know why it doesn't matter? Because Robert has made it clear that regardless of what his ethnic background and lineage is,
his agenda is for the
he
Mexicans.
will back their damned agenda. And see, here's the thing. If you notice, all this shade, all this disrespect that we've been getting from the congressional black caucuses, from you know, the leadership of the DNC and all this, and their sheepdogs and bootlicks, all this shade is to disguise the fact that Democrats are demanding from ADOS our vote without putting our agenda on the table. If they would just sit here and say, look, ADOS is right. Like, we ain't got to be happy about it, but ADOS is right. They built this country, and they're at the bottom, whether you measure by every metric, right? And before we do anything else for anybody else, we need a Marshall Plan. We need a Black New Deal, whatever the hell you want to call it, for ADOS people. They would have no worry about our vote. None.
Mark, listen to me real quick. This is the whole thing I've been saying about Nancy Pelosi the whole time, and that Chuck Schumer. They don't get to the voting block no more because they're starting to get angry with us. So that's why they're asking 14-year-olds to vote. That's why they're wanting illegals to vote. It's a whole toy about that. You want a 14-year-old to vote who doesn't do their homework. What the hell? They're not going to even football practice, and you want them to vote. They're not going to tennis practice. They're not going to volleyball practice, but you want them to vote. They have enough on their agenda to let we want a 14-year-old to vote. But on one hand, I'm going to say this real quick. It may seem nasty. I hope it's not. All right, so you want a 14-year-old to vote, right? But if a 14-year-old can vote and be a so-called adult, are you going to be okay with a 23-year-old dude screwing her? No, you're not, because she's just a baby. She's just a child. So why do you want them to have a vote like that then? Come on, man. I'm just saying, when you're talking about this stuff, be honest in your politics, but they're not. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, right? They're on both of the coasts, right? One is in California, one is in New York. They have nothing. They don't know nothing about middle people. They don't care about middle people, and that was obviously, especially with Nancy Pelosi, with the comments that she makes about no reparations or it's obvious, and I can't see how come nobody's calling her out on that BS. And Chuck Schumer, how do you come from New York City, but you can comment on Texas? Shut your mouth up, man. You just can't do it like that.
Because Chuck Schumer white or Jewish and can say so. That's what it is. You know what it is. The whole I'm white and I say so sort of thing. You know what? The shit is so epidemic in this planet that over in China, I follow geopolitics, I follow international economics, all this shit, right? Because I'm a nerd. That's just what I do, right? But over in China right now, you got Chinese corporations that are looking to sell products globally. So you know what they do? Yeah. They hire a white man. Just any random white man, preferably blonde hair and blue eyed, the Aryan standard. And let's say it's a medical corporation, right? They sell medical products. Yeah. They will put this fool in a doctor's coat with a stethoscope around his neck, teach him how to give a presentation, and use him to sell their products.
Yep. Exactly.
He don't know shit. He's not a doctor at all.
Let me tell you real quick. remember when Chuck Schumer was up there and he talked about those people that couldn't get back into the country, their visas or whatever, how he cried and sniffled and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when Eric Gardner was murdered, he didn't sniffle, he didn't cry, he didn't say a goddamn thing. Stop being fooled by these pet orders. It's bull.
I hear you,
They're
fam.
just lying to us, straight to our face. And Bernie Sanders sat there and told you to your face. Kamala Harris said to your face, I'm not going to do it for y'all. I'm not. They said that I'm not. And we stood for the Democrat.
But hold on, black man. You do realize, though, that Kamala is getting all this shade because black men and misogyny, right? That's the new narrative, right? Fam, we don't hate Kamala because she don't have a black agenda. She's been locking our people up. She's been a top cop numerous times and smiles with glee when she persecutes our people. We're not looking at her record. We're not looking at the fact that she had relations with Willie Brown, slept her way into various positions and gifts and all of that. No, none of that matters. What it is that black men are misogynist against black women, and we don't want to give a black woman a shot at nothing. Because Zerlina, what's her name? Zerlina Maxwell on Twitter came out and talked about black men were the reason why Trump got into office. 13% of black men voted for Donald Trump.
13%? How do you do on 13% of anything?
First of all,
13% of a football team, and you in the Super Bowl, you're sitting there. Come on, man, stop it already. It's not gonna happen.
Fam,
look, white women.
First of all, that data that they got. Black man, I'm going to let you drop out, bro, because I'm going to let somebody else call in. You know I love you, fam. You are always welcome, and thank you for your input, as always. Be here for Sucker Free Saturday, or I'm coming to look for you. Fam, Zerlina Maxwell is pulling the numbers from the whole CNN exit poll from 2016, right? Y'all remember the infamous exit poll that showed that 13% of black men voted for Donald Trump, all right? Now, that same exit poll said that 8% of black women voted for Donald Trump, but nobody's shading that 8% of sisters, right? Perhaps they thought Donald Trump was in their interest. They perhaps like pussy grabbing. Well, I don't know, and I don't care, okay? But this Zerlina Maxwell character wouldn't touch the fact that 57% of white women voted for Donald Trump. And that's now, mind you, there was only about 12,500 people that they had. Y'all got to talk about it. Go ahead. Let's do this. Caller from 515. It's your man, Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's on your mind?
Mr. Black, my name is Aaron. I live in Iowa. And Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm calling to let you know that what you are doing is working. It's working magic.
Thank you, fam.
So what we're doing out here is I work as a data processor. I've worked for Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, work on campaigns every few years.
Yeah.
And I've never seen as many, there aren't that many black people in Iowa. 2%.
Right. I'm actually originally from KC. So Iowa.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So trust me, I know I've been to Des Moines a few times. There's hardly no black people in Iowa.
But y'all don't let people fool you, man. I know people want things quicker, but from working on campaigns, it takes a few years, but that's why they don't understand. For us, it's happening exponentially quickly. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys are making a major difference, like, by the daily, because people say they want to get off the internet. I get that. You're going to see a lot of different changes in the next few years. I know because of your channel specifically, I met one of the people who follow you just by the comment section. I'm not going to disclose his name because right now we're getting synchronization.
Fair enough.
But I'm going to work for him for pro bono, and because he's a ADOS first candidate, he's going to be running for local city council.
Yes,
I mean, that right there. What kind of connection would we be able to make without just being able to? That right there is a big deal. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fam, I understand the brothers and sisters that cannot wait to see more ADOS people on the ground. Trust me. We're working on it. For those of you who want to see more ADOS bodies out there with paper, with faces, with voices, help us build it. I'm not throwing shade. I'm saying we need all of you. My job, as I see it, as an ADOS advocate, is to make more ADOS advocates. Why do you think in every video I have links in the description field to reports, to data, to books you can purchase, to resources to help you get prepared for this advocacy? You feel me? Because we need each and every last one of you. Every single one. But fam, let me ask you a quick question, if I may.
Yeah. Yep.
You were right when you said that there is a lag time between the introduction of a new idea into the greater populace and its growth, right? To us, it seems like, oh, wow, this kind of came out of nowhere, right? But we have been having an indirect influence even as early as 2015, 2016, I would argue, because I follow this. I follow this sort of thing, right? Let me ask you a question. You know, based off of your expertise and your study,
yes, sir.
What are things looking like for ADOS people in the off-term elections in 2022 and 2024? Where do you see our advocacy being in 2022 and 2024?
Miss Black, I know y'all won't believe me on this, but just based off of Midwest numbers in about 5 states, I've worked in like 3 different states, but 5 states that I can put black votes in. If in the next, you saw what happened in 2018, the flurry of black candidates who they told us were going to be our leaders, and we pretty much did the same thing as we did in 2016, which shut them down. It's a national panic. I worked in the Libertarian Party. They're pretty much the only one who is not panicking at all.
Because the Libertarians are basically all white all day long, at this point. They don't even
so,
care.
I mean, but the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, who had a guaranteed amount of like 5 to 6 nationally percentage, 5 or 6% of black votes. I mean, it's what's really happened in the last 5 to 6 years is amazing. It's more amazing than what's happened in the last year. I feel like a lot of people are caught off guard with the reparations thing getting thrown up there because, I mean, we've been making such an impact specifically in the last 2 years. I know this channel's been making much of an impact in the last like 6 months. That literally some of the same stuff that you cover in the articles or some of your same data that you cover in some of these articles, they have to reference it again in articles later or on news. So they're watching YouTube, which is why I'd advise you. I know, I'm pretty sure you're on Black Junction TV too.
I am. As a matter of fact, thank you for the reminder, because I need to hit Brother Dario up. And because I actually been speaking with the brother. He's really curious about ADOS. His problem is that he thinks, or at least he thought, because we had a conversation, that we were anti-business, right? Because, you know, we do go hard in the paint with the do for self whole idea, right? Like do for self, right? We're all right with banking with black folk and eating with black folk. You know, we need to eat with each other. That's no doubt. But we also need to understand that there's a reason why that hasn't been working for us. You feel me? Right? So I had a conversation with Brother Dario, and he's inquired about what resources can he get black business people to put capital behind in order to help further this thing. So we have even black businessmen out here, brothers with capital, who are looking to help us make some power moves in the places where we may lack capital and things like that. So thank you for the reminder, because yes, I am on Black Junction TV. I've supported all of Brother Dario's projects since the beginning. And so, yeah, but I've got some other plans that I'm gonna be talking about, not in this broadcast, but later, where I'm making a migration. So pretty soon, if you have not jumped on board with the Angry Black Sheep here on YouTube, you won't see us, because I'm going to be in the process of migrating everything off of YouTube. It's going to be all standalone, our own website, our own streaming platform where we can broadcast directly to Black Outcast Media TV, right? And the whole 9 yards. You feel me? Because with that, we can truly start to have the conversations we need to have as a collective.
And that's why I loved it. I mean, that was why I was going to go with it too. I was just going to let you know. I mean, have you seen obviously what's been happening? If you want to get you know that YouTube has made up these new policies specifically for us. And I mean, that's to show everybody right there. They literally changed one of the biggest social media platforms on planet Earth because they are
trying
scared
to stop us.
I think about the same time where we were in 2012 when Obama was still in office.
Man.
Was like, if any of y'all have ever seen Endgame, Avengers Endgame, that was where we were at. We were pretty much screwed. Thanos' army, the whole villain's army, and came at us. We pretty much are done. And then it just seemed like out of 2014, like a well, like of energy just happened all over of just different black YouTube channels. And I'm telling you, the Discord, if y'all ain't on the Discord, get on the Discord or follow Twitter. Like, you know that they want to try to get these kind of channels down for any reason because it's something empowerment to youth. And I mean, anything that's good for black people. You just know that the people who run these organizations, they want to get good channels like this. Now, follow the Discord. We're up to date on everything. We follow it up
let
every
me
day
tell
all day.
you, these technologies, while they have been disruptive to America as a whole, have given us capabilities as ADOS people that our ancestors could only dream of. Can you imagine if James Baldwin had Facebook?
Nope.
If Malcolm X had Twitter? Like, seriously.
If they could just call each other like this right now?
Fam. We are living at the best time it is to be ADOS because we have access to tools our ancestors never had. We are also uniting around our lineage and our heritage in a way our ancestors never really was able to kind of grasp and understand, right? And not to mention the fact that we are perfectly primed to give primacy to the two major parties. If the Republicans came out tomorrow and put forward a black agenda and ADOS votes moved away from the Democrats to the Republicans, the Dems wouldn't have a hope in hell of getting elected to dog catcher. We are in the best
for like
time
100 years. The numbers are so, I'm sorry, I mean, the numbers are so clear data-wise that I know everybody doesn't have access to this, and I'm not going to give away any sensitive information.
No, I hear you,
but
fam.
The numbers are so clear in each state that we control electoral politics, and to some degree in most states, local politics, but we just don't vote.
And fam, that's going to change.
Nobody offers us anything.
That's going to change because with us taking control of our vote, right? We're already starting to see local politicians. Like there's a sister that I was following. I forget the sister's name, but I'll look her up. Right, I'm following her on Twitter. Who's running for office in Georgia, and she is an out and out open ADOS advocate. Right. So as we start having that progressively stronger push down ballot on the local level, right, we can then start with the forces of politics that we've harnessed on a local level, start using those bodies to make a push nationally to make the Butter Biscuit Brigade go away and to put dyed-in-the-wool ADOS advocates. But see, here's the thing. And fam, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and drop off. Fam, nobody call in right now because I got a little bit I want to say before I take the next call. But fam, I appreciate you. Please join us if you haven't already as the Angry Black Sheep. We would love to have you.
Yep.
And there was a few people
getting on the Patreon tonight
that want to get your information, right? So if you feel like you got some information you can share with the family, right? You know, so they can maybe reach out to you and y'all can have some side convos, right? You know, protect yourself, protect your interests, but share whatever you can with the family. Please make sure to put that in the chat and let the family know how they can get in touch with you and everything. And I definitely appreciate your call.
Be safe out there.
Yes, sir. Peace. Fam, I want you to understand something, though, about electoral politics for ADOS people right now. Sister Yvette broke it down so cold for us that it literally burns in the front of my mind, like right here in the frontal lobe. I have never forgotten it since she mentioned it. And so I'm going to hammer it home and reiterate it with you. Where we currently stand electorally as ADOS people is we got bodies at the table. We have seats at the table with no food to eat. Because of processes like gerrymandering, because of Citizens United and its effects on the political system and so on and so forth, each individual ADOS advocate, even if they are elected to office, has their influence blunted because their electoral districts are shaped in such a way that it prevents their numbers from having much of an influential effect, right? Because if you're in a district that has, a certain amount of a key demo in that district, you can speak for that district and be certain that you're going to get benefits for that demo, right? Because that demo dominates your district. But the way that the redistricting has been done through gerrymandering, and now we know that the Supreme Court's not even going to weigh in on gerrymandering, so that process will continue. We find ourselves, even when we have people that we elect that are preparing to be advocates for us in the electoral process, they're sitting at a table with no food to eat. Now, what does this mean for us as ADOS family? Well, the answer is simple. It means, yes, we should be looking to put advocates at the table, but we should also be here on the ground, grassroots, applying pressure to every candidate. Are you hearing me? Doesn't matter if there's an R after their name. Like those brothers and sisters that were standing there in front of Mitch McConnell, the arch devil of the Congress. Yeah, we put pressure on Mitch McConnell. Whether they have an R after the name or a D, whether they're in our district or not, by gathering our numbers and by building up the pressure from the ground floor, from the grassroots, combined with what gains we're able to make electorally, is how we're going to push this thing home. So yes, if you have candidates in your area who are stating that they are for your interests, down ballot, support them. And by the way, Alma brought up a really good point. The Green Party's platform has been reparations for a hell of a long time, right? Now, I will say that I have voted Green before. I voted for Jill Stein and Jamu Baraka when he ran as her running mate. So I voted for her for president, right? I think that year the Greens got like 3% of the vote nationally. So they're not there yet, but they can grow. If you feel the need to run for local office, why not run under the auspices of the Greens? Because believe it or not, the so-called progressive wing of the donkeys are trying to take on a lot of the aspects of the Green Party. When you look at stuff like Medicare for All, that's Green Party platform. When you look at stuff like universal health care and things like that, that's all Green Party platform. So they're trying to speak green, but act dim. No. Get your ADOS candidates to run under green. As she said, some of these defunct or moribund Green Party caucuses in various areas, take them shits over. Y'all get in there and y'all write the minutes and y'all elect the officers and y'all choose who runs under the Green Party banner in your area. Just because they run under green doesn't mean they can't caucus with D's or R's if they get elected on the national level. Just like good old Bernard Sanders is a Democratic Socialist independent, but caucuses with the Dems. You feel me? The only thing I am telling you, fam, is that your day of voting for nothing is over. We're not voting against shit anymore. Everybody in this country has to hold their own nuts. If ADOS are going to vote, we are going to vote for something. We are going to vote for our interests. whether that's the Green Party that supports our interests and our local Green Party chapters and state caucuses, cool, I'm with it. But our day of voting against everything, oh, we got to get Trump out of there. No, we don't. We don't need to get Trump out of there. I could care less about Donald Trump. We need to be growing our ranks, cleaving to each other, educating each other about our lineage, about our unique place as ADOS in this country, building up from the grassroots. We need to be in the barbershops, in the churches. We need to be all of that. And where we're able electorally, we need to have voices in there that are full-throated, unapologetic, unabashed ADOS all day, every day. And every other candidate who isn't that, regardless of whether they're D or R, regardless of whether they're white or black or immigrant, regardless of anything, from us, they get shade and smoke, heat and fire. That's how we push this thing home. There is no candidate to us that is off limits. I don't give a damn if they're running for trash collector or president. If you ain't on board with the black agenda, if you ain't on board with the remediation, the restoration, and the repair of ADOS people, shade and smoke is what's in your future. Pressure, fire, pressure. Like Yvette said, pressure, not applause. Because anybody could talk a good game in politics. I listened to Steve, what's his name, Buttigieg or whatever his name is. I can't pronounce that goddamn name. But somebody came in him in Iowa talking about, why don't you just tell the black people to quit committing crime? He stood up. He said, frankly, sir, that was racist. And no, I'm not going to be talking to people like that. Okay, cool. Buttigieg can talk a good game. But where's his platform? That's right, family. Welcome to the new era. Welcome to the day when ADOS turns our votes into hoes. Who's buying? Shout out to Professor Black Truth who taught me this. Your wallet needs to be a convent and your vote needs to be a whorehouse. If they ain't putting in nothing on this, then they don't get to sniff the vote. Our ancestors didn't die just so we could vote for whatever. Our ancestors wanted us to be free. Our ancestors wanted us to have justice. Our ancestors wanted us to have our piece of the pie that we paid the blood price for. So what you gonna do, America? What you gonna do, Dems? What you got for us, Republicans? What green is the Greens gonna put in on this? Agenda, 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 agenda. It's as simple as that. We have no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, no permanent alliances, only permanent interests. That is how we're going to push this thing home, family. That is how we're going to push it home. You want to support Marianne Williamson? Support her. I encourage it. We need her voice out there, if nothing else, to make the Dems green around the gills during every damn debate. If you haven't contributed, give the woman a damn dollar. You don't have to come up out your pockets and break bank with her. You know what I'm saying? But what is it? What's $1 to hear Marianne Williamson go in there and be your bulldog for 60 minutes? Because she's indicated she's willing to do it. Is she spot on with the whole ADOS thing? No, not really. She's still lowballing us on the number a little bit, right? But once she starts getting some wind beneath her wings, she might be like, wait a minute, this ADOS thing is taking off, and I'm rising in the polls, and I actually got a shot at this shit. I best to ride with these ADOS people. You feel me? I'm not judging her figures toolbox, because I say that the very fact that she was willing to even go up there on that national stage and speak the R word says volumes about the character of Marianne Williamson. This ain't a hate movement. I don't hate Marianne because she white or anything like that. She got up there and said, yes, reparations. And Kamala's like, I was almost a black girl once. What about my needs? Bitch. So go to Marianne Williams' website and shoot her $1. Shoot her $2. Hell, you niggas is gonna go to McDonald's sometime this weekend. Big Macs is 2 for $5. You was gonna get 2 of them. Shoot her the 5 spot. You feel me? Shoot her the 5 spot. I want to hear more of what Marianne Williamson's got to say. I don't give a damn if all the Dems are trying to say she's a long shot. Everybody thought Donald Trump was a long shot. But don't we have Imperator Trump, first of his name, protector of the realm, in office? Don't tell me shit about no long shots. Everybody sitting here in 2015 telling us Trump ain't got an iceberg's chance in hell of getting the damn thing. Then he ended up winning the primaries and became the candidate. Oh, well, you know, Trump is a joke. Clinton's got this. Boy, on November 3rd, 2015, that night when a lot of them fools went to bed, it was a whole bunch of everybody crying in this country. It was a bunch of singing and flower bringing. Because the long shot won it. So I don't want to hear shit about Marianne Williamson being a long shot. The woman is willing to stick her neck out here on some full bore, full throated, unapologetic ADOS shit, back her play. We can at least give her a couple of dollars to make sure that she keeps getting a shot to speak on us. And that's real talk, fam. Tulsi, you know what? I actually was high on Tulsi. I really was. Until Tulsi went on ahead and co-signed that bullshit ass narrative that we were questioning Kamala's blackness and not addressing her actually hugely deleterious record on ADOS matters. Tulsi had some damn integrity. The day she came out with her tweet talking about, I find the attacks on Kamala Harris's blackness to be repulsive, this, that, and the third, I was like, I'm cool. I'm done. I tweeted Tulsi. I said, Tulsi, you were supposed to destroy the Sith, not become one of them. Tulsi had a shot. But she jumped on board the Democrat Party line, who sat here and tried to malign millions of American citizens, trying to straw man the whole damn nation. Family, a straw man argument is an argument you prop up that somebody didn't make to attack that argument rather than attacking the argument they did make. Right? So they straw manned us. Right? What they did, fam, is they took the fact that we took umbrage with the fact that Kamala, while she is black, nobody's denying that. She is not of our lineage. She is not Native Black American, Foundational Black American, ADOS. She's not us. And that to cloak herself in our story for her own personal gain is disgusting and disrespectful. They took that narrative, right, that argument that ADOS people, Foundational Black Americans, DACS Americans was making, and the whole of the mainstream media tried to straw man us. Oh, you're questioning her blackness. What? What? No. Nobody said anything about Kamala being black. She is black. Okay, she's of part Jamaican heritage. Of course she's black. Especially by the one drop rule here in the United States. There was no way we would ever be able to get away with saying she ain't black. Now, to be fair, Chameleon Harris has no problem with cloaking herself in Indianness when it's before an Indian audience. There's a group of Sikhs who want to have words with Kamala, not as a black American candidate for president, but as an Indian American candidate for president. She got no problem with blanketing herself in Asian American when it's in the front of the right audience. Come on now, let's get it. Chameleon Harris will be all things to all people, which makes her the most singularly unprincipled politician running on the Democratic slate currently. She will say whatever, be whatever, and do whatever to get her hands on the nuclear football. You want her to be president? When she's been unscrupulously against our interests. That's right, Chameleon Harris. And although I love the spelling, Alma, I mean, chameleon, or as I like to spell it, give the woman her proper name, Chameleon Harris, who wants to be all things to all Americans. She done locked black mothers up for their kids missing school. She done denied brothers on death row an opportunity for their freedom and their liberation. I got a brother, shout out to Real Spill, a.k.a. ADOS, boots on the ground. Fam, wherever you at, come see me because I miss you. But I got a brother who served time and was one of Kamala's firefighters in the wildfires, making $1 an hour as a prisoner in the motherfucking DOC in California. I don't need to know anything else about this woman to know I don't want her near the Oval Office. I don't want her ass anywhere by the White House. I don't even want her to visit the motherfucker. But you see, family, the Dems, led by the DNC, of course, and the pale stream media, the lame stream media, sat there and proceeded to gaslight us all, to straw man us with an argument we never even made. Who exactly are these people of color they keep trying to melt us with? That's the question we need to be asking. Wait a minute, Monty. Monty said Kamala intentionally cut off Marianne discussing reparations to serve herself and attack Joe Biden. Guess what? Turns out that whole attacking Joe Biden thing, that was just a misunderstanding. Because she actually came out later and said, well, yeah, there are some circumstances in which busing is not a good thing. What? So, bitch, you shut down the 2 minutes that ADOS people got during the damn debates. Because y'all spent an hour easily talking about immigration reform and DACA and all of that. You spent 30 minutes talking about gay rights. You spent, 20 minutes talking about health care for all and, revoking 1542 and this, that, and the third. You spent all this time, and the 2 minutes that the Democrats had an opportunity to speak on ADOS, she shunted it off for an argument that she agrees with. Somebody talk black to me. Make this make sense. Make this make sense. So we're supposed to support Snowbama 2.0 because she went to Howard? Because she AKA Ski Wee? What? And then she came out in that interview with the sister at the Griot and said, I'm not going to just come out and say I'm going to do anything specifically for black people. No. Now, for any thinking rational ADOS person, That to me says canceled. That says to me return to sender. Chameleon Harris is cooked. I thought that we had addressed this whole Chameleon Harris thing a long time ago. Right? Miss Diddy said, I swear to God, we canceled that bitch. Sonia, let me tell you something, sister. Because of the new black media, because of your ADOS advocates and proponents, we ultimately found out that she had lied about her whole story. That the Berkeley School District had already been desegregated in the high school. It was only like 2 schools left that they were working to desegregate. And not only that, yes, she was bused, but she was bused to a school her mother chose for her to go to. She willingly was bused. What? But, you know, hey, I'm tripping because we all know Kamala was actually marching with Martin Luther King, and she was on the bus with, you know what I'm saying, with Rosa Parks and, you know, right? Like, Kamala was actually studying law at 3 years old, and she was actually in there, you know, counseling the Supreme Court when they was ruling on Brown v. Board. You know. Fuck out of here. Just like she is a habitual liar. She can't tell the truth about shit, fam. She can't look. How you gonna be sitting here talking about, yeah, I was rocking with Tupac when I was in college smoking weed? Cause you know I ain't healed. Wait a minute, Tupac didn't even drop his first album until your ass was out of college. Pause. Yeah, Chameleon, you got some explaining to do. Joe Biden, you know what? Joe Biden is done. Like, that fool should not even be in the game, right? He done had his moment of shine. He was VP under Obama. We got all those memes of them having their little 8-year bromance. Take that win and sail off into the sunset and do yourself a favor. Damn, Joe Biden. I can't vote for look, no to Jim Crow Biden. I'm good. My brother is dead. May he rest. My brother committed suicide on Memorial Day weekend 2 years ago. Why did he commit suicide? Because my brother got his first bid in the joint when he was 18 years old. Armed criminal action, armed robbery, and a drug possession charge. He was at it. He smoked that PCP, that wet shit. And he did something stupid while under the influence and got caught. He served 10 years in prison. In those 10 years, he was beaten, he was raped, he was brutalized behind the walls of those prisons. I know, because my brother told me. Broke my motherfucking heart. I just sat there and I held him. That's my baby. That was my baby boy. That was my brother. Right? My brother subsequently caught another bid. 5 years. This time on marijuana possession. Got caught with a pound. Marijuana. You know, the chronic, cannabis, the sticky icky. You got caught with a pound, served 5 years on that. That's 2 strikes. Recently, or I should say before he died, my mother told me that he had gotten in trouble again with the law and was facing his 3rd strike. And my brother, rather than go to prison for the rest of his life, sat on my mother's couch, put a gun in his mouth, and blew his motherfucking brains out. Now, my brother wasn't no saint. I'm not sitting here, you know, deifying him. You feel me? My brother sold drugs and stuff like that. He was drugged out a lot himself. You know what I'm saying? Self-medicating, trying to, you know, get over the pain of that real ADOS life. You feel me? So I'm not going to sit here and sanctify and beatify my brother, okay? But he was a human being who had every opportunity any other human being could have in this country, except my brother was labeled felon. Not once, not twice, but soon to be 3 times. And who is responsible for seeing to it that my brother got 10 years in the first place on his first major beef? He got caught with less than a 16th of crack cocaine. He could have claimed it was personal use. I told him, I said, you should have tell him you smoke. They'll put you in 6 months inpatient rehab, 6 months outpatient rehab, and a year paper. No, bro, I ain't gonna tell these niggas I smoke. I said, fool, I know you don't smoke, but I don't want you to go to prison, man, and you could beat this beef. But my brother was hard-headed. He wouldn't listen, and he ended up getting 10 years. 10 of the damnedest. This was after spending 10 years in group homes. Joe Biden wrote the motherfucking bill that locked my brother up for his first bid for 10 years. Joe Biden and William Jefferson Clinton were the reason why my brother had to face 3 strikes in the first place. Joe Biden's got an iceberg's chance in hell if this ADOS black man got anything to say about it or getting elected into the motherfucking Oval Office. Joe Biden need to go and deal with Hunter's crack smoking ass and give him a nice healthy 10, 15 year bid. Oh, y'all ain't know? Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, out there buying crack in the hood? Where the big bid for Hunter? I want to see Hunter do some time. Show me how penitent you are about this crime bill, Joe Biden. I want to see Hunter do a 10-year bid in the finest penitentiaries this country has to offer, where I'm certain such a upstanding and beautiful young man will get a nice warm welcome from the brothers on Cell Block B. Damn Joe Biden. Wait a minute though. Obama did something for black people. Yeah, he reduced the sentencing disparity from 100 to 1 to 19 to 1. Right on, Snow Obama. I knew we could count on you. President Chameleon Harris getting the office is going to shoot up to 200 to 1. She ain't found a black person. She ain't willing to lock up on anything yet. But Mnuchin's still walking. Oh, yeah. You know, Steve Mnuchin, one of the architects of the collapse of the California housing market. 5,300 bad mortgages that he knew was bad, that defrauded people out of millions. Mnuchin's in government now. Thanks to Chameleon Harris. Which, by the way, you got to give Mnuchin props for class, right? Because now that he's been able to retain his freedom, he also donated some money to Kamala Harris's campaign for senator. The spider web family, the spider web is sick. These Dems, they've been playing us for bald-headed fools for 60 years, all because one president agreed to enforce the law that was already on the books, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution. I'm trying, fam. I'm trying to get to 100. Y'all need to share this one. Yeah, Hunter got business in Ukraine. Wasn't Ukraine overran by Putin and company? How come nobody's talking about Hunter's possible connections to any Russians? I'm just saying. And what, you know what, this whole birtherism shit, look, I'm fucking over it, right? Did any of you read the tweet that DJT Jr. sent before he removed it? Because he didn't. He was dumb as hell. He should have never tweeted that, right? But did any of you read the actual tweet that they based all of the accusations about birtherism and Kamala Chameleon Harris from? Did any of you get to see the tweet? Hit me with a 1 in the chat if you got a chance to see the tweet. The actual tweet from Donald J. Trump Jr. Because if you didn't, I'll tell you exactly what it said. I got the chance to see it. Donald J. Trump saw this tweet where somebody was questioning, actually, no, scratch that. The dude wasn't questioning Kamala's blackness. The Ali guy, right? Ali. I actually follow him on Twitter. Now, he's an arch conservative black man. He's part Arab, but he's part ADOS too, right? So he shares our lineage. He's a black man. For those of you who don't even know who the cat is, he's a real person. He broadcasts on Periscope and on Twitter. He's a real dude. This Ali cat was the one who put out the tweet that went viral that Kamala was Indian and Jamaican and that she's not African American. She's not ADOS, right? So Ali puts out this tweet. The mainstream media made sure it went viral. Everybody's like, just all this pearl clutching. It was disgusting. Donald J. Trump Jr. simply posted a tweet that says, wow, is this true? That was it. That was it. Wow. Is this true? And that's birtherism? That's the advent of birtherism 2.0? He simply asked a question to a tweet he saw. He's like, wow, is this true? He didn't tweet and say he had an opinion about the tweet. He didn't say anything extra. He didn't go, like, wow, well, if this is true, how could she even run for? No, he didn't do no extra. His tweet was 4 goddamn words. But the pale stream media ran with that and turned it into a whole birtherism scheme against Kamala Harris. When, first of all, the original poster, Ali, was not wrong in saying that she is of Indian and Jamaican descent and not ADOS. So Ali was not wrong from jump. And Donald Trump Jr. never even said anything about the damn thing. He just said, wow, is this true? Like, in that question mode, like, whoa, really? Is this true? And that's birtherism. They spun all of you bullshit for days, fam. This was on the news cycle on MSNBC, on CNN, on Yahoo News, fuck, on the weed, on everything, for a 4-letter tweet that simply asked, wow, is that a question? Like, is that real? Is that true? No, Ali goes hard in the paint. Now, again, Ali, fam, I'm telling you, if you follow Ali on Twitter, understand this dude is about as rabid of a conservative as it comes. If you can't deal with the black conservative political position, perhaps he's not the dude for you. But that being said, he has made it his goal to ensure that Kamala does not even sniff the Oval Office. And again, Ali's interests and my interests align in this particular matter. So go Ali. Roly-poly, look, that fool's got no credibility at this point, fam. Look, I know a lot of my boomer forebears and some Generation X folk who are climbers, aspirational Negroes, right? Still roll with Roly-poly Martin, right? Roly, the Boule Bird Martin, that dude, right? But fam, understand, this fool has no credibility. How in the hell are you going to claim to speak authoritatively about anything as a journalist when CNN said, and I'm paraphrasing loosely, Yes, we can talk about hiring more black reporters and journalists as long as that food don't come to the table. I'm not bullshitting, fam. I'm not bullshitting. The NABJ, right, which is the National Association of Black Journalists, okay? NABJ, look them up. The NABJ has been putting pressure on various news organizations to get more representation for black journalists on their platforms, in their media platforms, okay? So, of course, they went at CNN because CNN is one of the largest media platforms out here. You feel me? Okay. CNN responds, we understand your concerns, and we are definitely willing to talk with you about them. However, you have a member of your organization who we have clearly seen has no integrity and cannot be trusted in this matter. We will talk with you, but we will not talk with you as long as he sits on the board. That's essentially white people's way of saying, yeah, that nigga can't come. We'll y'all want jobs? We'll give y'all jobs. No problem. Dump that motherfucker right there. CNN don't even want his cooning ass, and they'll take anybody. Look, family, all of us who watch CNN, who are politically savvy as ADOS, understand that attacking most people on CNN isn't even really fair. It's like snatching at low-hanging fruit on a tree. Right? CNN is like just easy pickings, just easy wins. Like if you ADOS and you just got into this advocacy, you could challenge the stuff they say on CNN and just snipe it down all damn day long. Right? So they'll take any black face and they don't want you. News One is like this tiny little platform and they don't want you. Roland, you cooked, fam.
No more butter biscuits for you.
Man, you better start, you know what I'm saying, networking with your A5 brothers or something, and try to do a little something. You better you better go hit up, Missy Hillary and see what she got for you. Cause you done, fam. Matter of fact, fam, look. Can I ask you as a favor to just stop engaging with Roland Martin? And the reason why is very simple. It has nothing to do with the fact I hate him or anything. I have no personal animus towards the Boule bird. None. Right? The reason why I'm asking you to disengage from him is because, believe it or not, what remaining relevancy he has is from his engagement with ADOS people. We continue to make Roly-Poly Martin relevant. That's no joke. Seriously. We continue to make him relevant. You do understand that. Whenever he puts out one of these nut job drivel tweets that he be on, you go and look at the engagement and it's overwhelmingly ADOS and it's 90% shade. Right? Don't get me wrong, ADOS fam on Twitter. I know you got to have your fun. I know you got to eat. But can we please stop making this fool relevant? He's done, and he's been done. When CNN questioned him giving debate questions to Hillary's camp through Donna Brazile, he was cooked. He's done. Not to mention the fact that Rolly isn't even ADOS. He's Haitian. He's of Haitian descent. Please stop giving this fool shine. Stop going in his mentions. When I go click on Rolly's Twitter feed, I just want to hear crickets, fam. Stop making this fool relevant. Please. Bye, Felicia. Like, I'm cool.
Cancel.
He's been canceled. Fam, the line is open. I thank y'all for letting me chop. But if you got something you want to say, come on in, right? We got, about 80 watching live? By the way, we were almost at 100. I want to thank all of you for your love and support. Please consider hitting the links there. I know today's been not so much information as it's been inspiration, but if anything I say inspires you, anything that I say has informed you, right? If you learn something from this broadcast, this is what I do all the time for my ADOS folk. Please consider supporting the channel. There's links to my Patreon there and other resources. You can purchase a book, link through those, purchasing through those links in my description field also help to support my channel and so on and so forth. Please consider that. And I would love to hear from you. Alma, sister, I hope you stay a while because you've been getting it in the chat today. You've been putting boot to ass the whole time. No, Sister Alma, this was just an impromptu broadcast driven by the joy that I had at seeing Professor Eddie Glaude get that in on Joy Reid's. It was everything. It was everything. Family, we have to learn as ADOS folk to know when we're winning. And to have this brother that they didn't see coming get on national TV on one of our greatest detractors platform and not only shout us out, but debunk all the fuckery that she's been trying to spin on us since day one. Fam, I don't care how you spin that. That's a W. That's a W. Yes, and big props to the professor for telling them that we not bots, that we real people, and you're going to have to face us or you're going to have a problem. Now, he was, of course, aligning himself with the Democrats. I'm not going to sanctify the brother. He was talking we and us, and we going to have problems, and they're a danger to us and all of that. So let's not, be like nuts about it. Give props where it's due. But let's understand that he was talking and including himself in with the Dems. But that being said, he recognized the inherent danger in refusing to engage us, refusing to have an agenda for us, for refusing to understand that ADOS is a single issue voter. Oh, and Joy Reid with that side eye, woo, it was everything. On God, on whatever you believe in, it was everything. It was everything. Caller, 425-296-1980. Call in, holler at your man. If you got something you'd like for me to talk about, I answer questions humbly because I don't know everything, right? But I answer questions for you. If you need advice, this is an open kind of conversation today. We doing a little celebrating at watching Joy get cooked on her own platform. I'm enjoying it. The irony is delicious. So if you have something you'd like for me to talk about or something that you want to bring up or something you want to share with the ADOS family, maybe you're organizing somewhere and you want people to know. We got almost 100 people watching, and most of these people watching are all the ADOS community. So if you're trying to get something out there, this is the place to do it. By the way, I didn't shout out SM Bonner and Tazaba. I see y'all. Producer, there you are, fam. Yes. And you're right. The language is there. We have more work to do. We definitely have more work to do. Sister Alma is right. Fam, where you're able, get in front of your people. Get in front of your people because the Democrats have stopped seeing us as irritants. Right? Now, one thing I can say about the professor is he, and the words he chose to use do speak volumes about the need for us to recognize just how much of a threat we have become to the Democratic Party. They no longer see ADOS as an irritant, as a bunch of shiftless niggas who's looking to, take away their beloved black vote. No, they see us now as a clear and present danger, and they should. But we now need to become stronger in our advocacy because the attacks that are coming are attacks that we probably have never really faced before. You see, family, we have never, as ADOS folk, said, until us, nobody. Because that is essentially what the political message of ADOS is. Until you do us, We don't give a damn about nothing and nobody. I don't care about climate change. I don't give a damn about whales. I don't give a fuck about immigrants. I don't care about crying babies at the border. I don't give a damn about nothing. Now, this doesn't mean we don't have hearts. We are the conscience of America. Don't get it twisted. We feel every little pain that everybody goes through. But this is saying that we don't have time for their pain when we're hurting so bad. We have never done that before. We have never done that before. And we are not only asking, we're not sitting around doing kumbaya, singing we shall overcome and hoping they pay the debt. No, we are demanding the debt be paid. We ain't never done that. Until us, nobody. I don't give a damn about universal health care. I don't give a damn about how many of your student loans get wiped out. Until us, nobody. We have never done that before. And that makes us the greatest threat that both parties, truth be told, have ever seen. You think that we're just a threat to the Dems? No, we've just been the closest to the Dems. They're the ones feeling the pain from us right now. But the R's are going to have their day with us too. They're going to find out just what a clear and present danger strong ADOS advocacy is, because nobody, not the D's nor the R's, can dispute the data. The debt is due, and we aims to collect. In the words of my man Malcolm Reynolds on Firefly, Mark Black aims to misbehave. Zero chill, understanding zero, no act right. Until us, nobody and no thing. I don't care about the red-breasted, blue-eyed swamp booby. I don't care about desertification. I don't care about Green New Deals. I don't care about none of it. Until you do us, I got self-care to do. I got ADOS people to kick it with, right? I got us to do. Sorry, what was that? Standing Rock? No, I can't. I've got a meeting tonight. I've got a broadcast to talk to my people to give them education and inspiration. Oh, what was that? Another incident at the border? Oh, that's so sad. Wait, do y'all have a black agenda yet? No? I'm sorry. I wish I could be, asked to come help, but we're good. Sorry, but until us, nobody. By the way, fam, and I'm going to probably wrap it up because I've been going on for a hell and y'all been super patient and ain't nobody calling in, so it's all good. But I want to leave you with one little thing here. In Mexico right now, they've got concentration camps too, if you follow the whole AOC line of reasoning behind these camps. Right? They got concentration camps in Mexico too. But strangely enough, there aren't any Latinos really in them. No, they have Haitian and African immigrants who are trying to cross the border in those camps. How come the Haitian babies that are being kept behind bars, the little African children being separated from their families in those Mexican concentration camps, how come they're not the face of immigration if it's such an issue? Good question, is it not? How is it we're not hearing about the Africans who are trying to sneak through the border and are getting captured by Mexico and locked up in concentration camps? I mean, aren't we supposed to be trying to open the borders for everybody? Like giving them driver's licenses and scholarships and, aid, and the police can't ask them nothing? Oh, yeah, sir, I clocked you doing, wait, I'm sorry, are you Latino? Oh, wait, I can't ask you that. Oh, can you just blink once for yes and twice for no? I can't ask you. Okay, can't ask you that. Well, can I ask you for your driver's license? Oh, I can't ask you that. Oh, okay. Well, have a nice day, sir. Right? We supposed to be giving them everything. You drive 2 miles over the speed limit. You be lucky if you go home with a ticket. If you're unlucky, you don't go home. But they get everything. But only certain ones of them is getting everything. Right? Only certain babies are being shown at these camps. Right? Only certain faces get associated with the need for immigration reform. Right? I'm not a cold-hearted bastard. It hurt me to my heart to see pictures of Haitians and other African immigrants trying to do what every other immigrant is trying to do now that America's Democrats are simply saying, fuck the law, right? So why hate on the Haitians and anybody else who's black skinned who's trying to get into this country? Why hate? The Democrats said, screw the law. They were elected to write laws, enforce laws, all that other shit, but they just said screw the law. So since it's screw the law, why then are we not showing the Haitians and the Africans being locked up in concentration camps in Mexico? Why isn't that the face of immigration? You feel me? Even when we're not ADOS, when we possess this black skin, no matter where the hell we go, we're going to have to take the shitty end of the stick. So don't come at us as ADOS advocates and tell us we don't understand the universal struggle that blackness faces all over the goddamn world. What we're telling you is that we can't do shit for you until we can do something for ourselves. Until we are made whole, until we've experienced remediation, restoration, and repair, you can't ask us for nothing. We don't have the capability to be fighting a global war against white supremacy when we can't even take care of our people here. Ain't nobody having sanctuary cities for ADOS people. The one brother I knew that tried to get asylum in Canada due to the fact that the police is shooting us in the street like dogs had his damn application denied. Ain't nobody trying to open up their borders for us. But we supposed to mule for everybody in a universal battle against white supremacy. No, hell no. Not today, not ever. Until us. Nobody. And with that, fam, I'm going to go ahead and leave you for the evening. Thank you so much for those of you. Patriarch Turner is the latest angry black sheep. Kanuri, I appreciate the tip, fam. I appreciate you. Miss Denny, the greatest giver of them all, and my rock. You know I love you, sister. You sit right here, so I love you, sister. Thank you for everything you do. And thank all of you. Black men, I'm going to be honest with you. You sound like Miss Denny right now, fam, because I don't think I should be in anybody's room. I'm in the place. I'm in the place where I want to be, making more advocates, making more me's. If I can make you be just as much on fire for this thing as I am, then I consider my work done. Alma said, I think we need to halt all immigration until we fix this country for the people here now, until we make our people competitive. No, they want to bring in immigrants to compete with China. Damn all that. I'm with you, Alma. Right now, I'm not for legal immigration or illegal immigration. I'm not for neither one. Not while I got people that look like me sleeping on the streets. Not while the banks is still holding on to over 16 million properties from the housing collapse in 2008, but people can't even get a place to live. Not while this country still owes me, standing in the shoes of my ancestors, a debt that they haven't paid. Hell no. Do I look like Boo Boo the Fool? I was born during the day, but I wasn't born yesterday. And I'm not xenophobic for demanding my rights as a citizen because, damn it, citizen is supposed to mean something. And I've been denied my full citizenship ever since I've been here. I paid the blood price on the plantation. I paid the blood price in prison under convict leasing. I paid the blood price during Jim Crow. I paid the blood price during mass disenfranchisement. I paid the blood price under mass incarceration. I paid the blood price under the fucking crack epidemic. This country owes me, and I aims to collect, and I aims to collect for you and for me. Until us, nobody. I will see you, family, on Sucker Free Saturday, 4:30 PDT tomorrow. Make sure you join us. And as I always do, for those of you who are new to me, as I always do, I always want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power, real power to our people.